I think it's safe to say the Seahawks pulled off an incredible game. Beating the Broncos 17-16, the Broncos were the favorite in this Week 1 matchup. The Seattle Seahawks defense was just on another level, stopping the Broncos twice at the goal line and causing fumbles and making the Broncos look really bad. What's up, guys? If you haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure to do that. And if you like this style of content, make sure to comment down below. My upload rate is going to be pretty low because it's my senior year of football, and I have been focusing way more on that than on videos, which I apologize for. But let's not talk about that. Let's get straight into the video and break down Week 1 Broncos vs. Seahawks. This game was already going to be a very interesting game, but to make it even better, you have a starting QB for the Broncos, Russell Wilson, who is playing against his former team, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks would strike first out with a 7-point lead after Geno Smith had almost got sacked, but Geno Smith was able to dump the ball off to Will Dissly, who ran it all the way in for a touchdown. Russell Wilson would lead the Broncos down the field before failing to convert the first down, resulting in a field goal. The next points wouldn't be scored until the second quarter, where the Seattle Seahawks would drive down the field to score a 49-yard field goal. Russell Wilson would throw a pass to Jerry Jeudy, where he would run for a 67-yard touchdown, tying the game 10-10. The Seattle Seahawks would break the tie, though. Geno Smith would throw a perfect pass to Parkinson for a touchdown. After they completed the one-point attempt, the Seahawks took the lead by 7 points. The Broncos would try to drive back and score a touchdown before the second quarter ended, but only got a field goal, making the game 17-13 before halftime. In the third quarter, the Seahawks defense put on an amazing performance, stopping the Broncos from scoring at the goal line and causing them to fumble. With this stoppage, the Seahawks would drive down the field before DK Metcalf would fumble, giving the ball back to the Broncos. After a couple of plays, Russell Wilson would throw a long pass to Hamler, but the Seahawks cornerback, Tariq, would cause a pass interference penalty, resulting in the Broncos being placed at the spot of the foul. Again, the Seahawks would make an incredible stop. The Broncos would hand the ball off to Williams, and Williams had no lane to go through. He would get hit and fumble the ball, and the Seahawks would recover the ball again. In the fourth quarter, Broncos would drive down the field and get 3 points after completing the field goal. The score was now 16-17. Now that brings us to one of the most controversial calls of the night, a 64-yard field goal attempt by the Broncos. It was fourth quarter, 20 seconds left, 3 timeouts, and 4th and 5. A 64-yard field goal would tie it with the second longest field goal in NFL history. The Broncos kicker's longest field goal was 57 yards. Okay, with knowing all that, tell me which one would be smart, going for the first down, possibly convert, call a timeout, then a field goal with the possible chance of a turnover, and then the game will end anyways, or go for the 64-yard attempt, even though the kicker's longest kick ever was 57 yards. Comment down below your answer. So the Broncos would miss the field goal, resulting in the Seattle Seahawks Week 1 win. Okay, but before we start roasting Russell Wilson, let's actually take a look at the game stats. Russell Wilson would complete 29 out of 42 passing attempts for 340 yards with a 69% completion rate and 1 touchdown. That's actually pretty good. If we look at other great QBs like Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, and compare their Week 1 stats, Russell Wilson actually looks pretty solid. Not to mention most of the end zone plays were run plays, so Russell Wilson unfortunately was not able to have a couple more touchdowns. So my overall thought was Russell Wilson put on a solid performance. I mean, he beat Geno Smith in passing yards. But fair play to Geno Smith. He was a backup for Russell Wilson and ended up completely dominating that game, throwing 195 yards, completing 23 out of 28 pass attempts, scoring 2 touchdowns, and having a completion rate of 82.1%. I think Pete Carroll did a really good job on calling the right plays and having an even run game and passing game, hitting the Broncos at every angle. I think the Broncos really need to clean up their goal line work and clean up their defense because there was way too many holes wide open for Geno Smith. Overall, both teams put on quite a performance. Seahawks defense was actually really awesome to watch. They showed pure dominance, and the Broncos offense was also very entertaining to me. So yeah, both teams put on a performance with Seahawks winning. Let me know down in the comments what you would have done if you had to choose between a 64-yard field goal and a chance at a 5-yard conversion. And make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks.